Welcome, my name is Russell Campbell. I teach at Vancouver Island University, and I'm just going to do a quick demo that I promised for about 4 or 5 of my students from an introductory object-oriented programming course that I taught during the spring semester. So we're finishing up the academic year during the pandemic, and my students had a lot of fun making some games. And I provided code to show them how to do a little bit of animation in the terminal. So let's just give you a look, and I'll save the best for last. This first game is by Caitlin Thomas. She was also studying nursing, and I'm fairly certain that was her major, but she was also very curious about learning to program. So she made a game about role-playing as a nurse or a doctor. Okay. So we've got some options to choose. I think I'll choose to be a nurse. And we get a little bit of a story. So I think her idea behind the game was that you needed to take care of patients as they came into the hospital, almost the same way you would encounter monsters inside a RPG if you were playing that kind of game. And as you help heal them, you gain your reputation points instead of losing health points. So I thought it was an interesting twist on RPG genre. And then you can see the animation that I had. You'll notice that that animation is going to be the same on a couple of these games because it was the default that I gave to them. And then they created some of their own C++ objects together with the library I was providing. And they were writing a little bit of this kind of story that they gave. So I was really impressed with her choice and creativity in the way she adapted RPG. And here we've got a patient that needs help because they're burnt. And we get to choose between either helping them by taking them into surgery or calling for a doctor for assistance, or we can eat snacks or try to prescribe them medication. I think that was the funniest one that maybe laughed the hardest because it says a nurse can't prescribe medication. So you have to then call a doctor to help. And I think that makes your reputation points go down or something. I think she also has them automatically heal as you help them anyway. So it's not too hard of a game that she created, but I think it's a lot of fun. Okay, we need to be able to help them until we get our reputation points, and oh, I guess they lose 5 bad health points. So I guess there's another number system as you help each individual patient until you finally completely heal them. I guess they have 3 bad health points left. So what we'll do next is I'll demonstrate them eating a snack to see what they can do. So they scarf down their granola bar and they get some health points. All right, and then we healed the patient. So I also made sure to ask them to do some debugging, that if the user enters keys that they shouldn't for their choices, that it would give a error message and just say that I have to make another selection again. So I'm supposed to be able to move, and we've got another encounter. This one has a heart attack. And then let's prescribe them some medication. If I was a doctor, that's what I would want to do. And then call for assistance right away. So they go into surgery. I guess I pressed the wrong button. So I'm not very good at playing these games because I'm staring at the screen, but trying to press the buttons on my keyboard without looking at it. So they have to make the choices between 1, 2, 3, or 4. And the options to move the player during movement are A, S, D, and W keys. Okay. And near the end, I thought it was funny that she had in the story that you could go out and grab pizza together with the other nurses, I think. And that was a nice addition, right, with her final submission for her project. So I thought it was a lot of fun. And I think there's more random encounters. Yeah. So I'm just going to stop recording for this demo for this game and move on to the next one. So thank you very much, Caitlin Thomas. It was a great game. This next game is from Molly Campbell. No relation to me, but her major was computer science, and she got really into the designs with the ASCII characters she could use for some of the graphics as far as the opening went. So I didn't require them to have to submit any kind of nice designs like this, but I allowed them to do that if they wanted to, and they could get marks for a little bit of it. And then I really enjoyed the progression of her similar RPG style, where you could explore and then pick up potions and other items you can see as the exclamation marks. And then you have to traverse all the way up to the top right-hand corner of the area in order to pick up the key that's stored there, and then get back out of the house without losing the battles against the ghosts along the way. So again, those are random encounters, and you can make choices very similar to this menu system that I had set up for them. I think I remember, let's be a clerk. I think I remember that when I asked them to do the programming for this project, that they also had to do the debugging for the display so that it displayed the story correctly within these rectangular panels that pop up. So they had to do a few more technical things as well, not just create objects for the game to have interaction. It was more focusing on just demonstrating the introductory parts of object-oriented programming for C++. So this one, we want to be able to move, pick up the items, and then there's some snacks we could get to eat and increase our health. And here we got an encounter with 2 ghosts. So I'll try to be a little bit faster about this. So I'm going to attack. Because I think for the amount of time they have to program, it's not like they can create some super amazing game that's going to have a lot of variety in it. So with the amount of time they have, I am impressed with what they're able to put together. After each encounter, the story progresses a little bit. You get to read the next part of it. So you can tell that Molly had a lot of fun with the story. So you get potions. I think what I'm going to do, the first version I played of her game was actually really difficult. I almost couldn't beat it. And then she reduced the difficulty in her final submission. Okay, now we have the final master key we have to get back. And I'll show you the menu expands to include any different kind of items that you could have picked up, and then decide which one you want to use. So we did get to some more sophisticated object-oriented concepts like inheritance and being able to display a list using polymorphism. Okay, so we'll use a potion because I think it gets more difficult near the end where the ghosts can randomly crash like this and you take a large amount of damage. So you have to keep up playing against that by using the potions and the other snacks that you pick up that you can eat. Let's see what happens when we send Ron in, our trusty dog. They lunge and bite at the ghosts. Yeah, we have a lot of crashes, so we got to be careful when we're in these attack sessions. So I think Ron is quite powerful. They do quite a bit more damage than our regular attacks. Yeah, so I think my next choice, I got to make sure we'll use the apple, I think. So 65 points when we eat an apple. Remember to eat healthy, guys. Okay, they got 9 points left. So I think we send the dog in one more time. We just barely got by on that one. I don't know if we're going to be able to get past these next two ghosts. So hopefully the blue potion is pretty powerful. And I think the crashing is random so that sometimes it's a 0, and I think she reduced the randomness of that so that doesn't happen as often. Okay, let's do a regular attack. And then use our superpower. Whoa, 44 damage, that's the one I should be doing all the time. Okay, in the last attack, if we get attacked again, I'm going to go through really quickly. Oh yeah, get me out of the haunted house. What a nice, trusty dog. Okay. Let me just get set up with the next game. This next game was actually a pair of students that decided to work together, and I allowed students to merge projects in order to get a larger content in their game. So this is Lachlan Dyer and Carson Witt. Now they have quite a bit more, so I don't think I'm going to be able to play through the entire thing. I can demonstrate just how much they were willing to put into what they designed. So they mostly focused on the story and having a lot of options that you could make, as well as items. So a wide variety of items that you could use in the encounters. So we can choose between 3 different classes. I guess I'll do the High Elf Ranger. So of course, lots of story. You're welcome to pause and read that. I guess there were a few small issues with filling the text within the dialogue panels that I gave them. So I think that's more of a bug on my side rather than anything they did with their code. Okay, so we can either jump over the brook and climb up the valley, or follow the white rabbit into the meadow, or cut through the graveyard. So I think they were very, very creative in the kinds of different things that you could want to do. Now the result of whichever option I choose is actually, the reaction is random. So I think whatever choice I make here, I have a chance. So I'm going to go cut through the graveyard. I guess I randomly sprung a trap, and now I have to be careful because I lost a bunch of my health. You can randomly pick up options as you move through space. So there's different items we could find that can help us. And I think after we finish battles, we pick up, the main objective is to find 3 different chaos stones. So that's obviously motivated by the Avengers. Okay, I'm going to venture through the forest, and then here we have our first battle. So we don't have any items yet. I can't use anything like that. So I guess we'll attempt a critical hit. I don't make it, and I take some damage. And then we'll attack. They do a ton of damage, so I'm probably going to die soon. And then we'll eat a snack if I have one. I don't have any. And then they destroy me, so here's my first loss. So I think their game is quite a bit harder, the one that they designed. And I wanted to be able to demonstrate getting some of their items if I could find some. So we'll do a dwarf. See if I can get some items. I chose option 2. Got a battle right away. I'll do attack. Yeah, and I guess they had a few bugs as well, so I'm sorry that that's showing up right now. I don't have too much time to edit my video. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut it short right there. But when I found options for items, they did have a lot of variety. So I might come back later and post another video just focusing on the highlights of their game because there is quite a bit to it. Okay, this last game I was very impressed with. The student worked extremely hard on it, and you could tell that they really had a passion for game development. And even at the beginning of the semester, I remember them on the first class, they started demonstrating a project they were working on. I think they were working on poker. And they had the graphics worked out with ASCII characters like this. And it was immediately, I was really impressed with the kind of work he was putting out. So yeah, I was really expecting him to do something amazing at the end of the semester, and he did not disappoint. He's got his own screen right at the beginning like this, where you can press A to start or Q to quit. So I type it in and then hit enter. And then he's got asteroids. He's got full animation. You can choose between 3 different style of ships in space. I'm not going to try pronouncing his last name because I never feel like I'm saying it correctly. But this is Yao. And it's just so much fun. So I'm going to do the fighter pilot because I think that's the easiest one to work with. And it is actually, progressively, it gets quite a bit difficult as the gameplay continues. So I can move left and right. I can't move up and down, but to push up as if I was going to move, it actually just shoots. So it's fairly slow to begin with, and we've got the asteroids coming down. You shoot them, the scores go up for each one that you hit. And then I think after 10 asteroids, the difficulty increases, and each set of 10, the difficulty increases by 1. And then every once in a while, when you increase your score, I think he randomly gives you some kind of power up that you temporarily get. And I think for this particular ship, it gives you more ability to fire lasers, if I remember correctly. We'll see. I'm going to do my best to see how far I can get here, and then I think that'll be the end of the video. So yeah, I really thought it was amazing that he was able to get the animations working. Here I've got my power-ups. I think I've got about 10 different shots to help shoot more asteroids. So yeah, I've got a double shot. Now he's majoring in engineering. So he was registered in about 6 classes during this semester. So even more so what he submitted here, yeah, I was really surprised he was able to pull this off at the end of the semester after taking so many classes as well. And I'm almost out of power up. When you finish playing, it actually saves your score if it's the highest. So if I were to go and open up the game to play again later, it would tell me at the end whether I beat the high score or not. Oh. I think eventually one of these is going to get past me because so many will start entering at the top of the screen that I won't be able to shoot them all. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is pause and come back once that gets to a difficulty where I'm going to have. Okay, I'm going to have to stop it there because when I went to go pause the recording, it stopped me from being able to control the ship and the terminal. So once one asteroid moves past your ship, that's the end of the game. And we could play again. So I think, let me just double check if I reduce the size of the text. Not sure if there was more that would have displayed, because somewhere it keeps track of the high score. So maybe I'm not displaying it in the best way. And I was very happy to be able to include a little bit of game development like this in an introductory programming course and give students the opportunity to try including, whatever they're interested in. I'm really happy if they get the chance to include some of that in their work. So I think game development affords the opportunity for that. And it's one of the most flexible kinds of work that you could do to just decide on including something as part of a story, or maybe some aspect of the gameplay like the asteroids. If you like top-down shooter, then you get the chance to do that. All right, so I'm looking forward to doing more videos like this, being able to demonstrate more projects, different things that students might like me to share with other people, and take a chance to just showcase some nice work like this.